The heavy iron gates of the citadel didn't creak when they opened, they groaned, a sound like a dying beast echoing across the valley. Valerius stood on the battlements, his shadow stretching long and jagged over the town he had spent decades suffocating. Below, the people gathered in the square, their faces pale upturned stones in the moonlight. They weren't cheering, they were waiting for the catch. For 40 years, Valerius had ruled through the alchemy of fear, turning every neighbor into a spy and every smile into a recorded debt. But as he looked at the key in his hand, the master key to the grain stores, the armory, and the dungeons, he felt the sudden, crushing weight of his own vacuum. To be feared is to be visible, to be hated is to be felt. But to realize you have built a world that is simply waiting for you to vanish is a different kind of death. He didn't make a speech. He simply dropped the heavy ring of keys from the height of the wall. They fell through the cold air, a silver streak that hit the cobblestones with a final, definitive chime. The crowd surged forward, a wave of desperate, hungry motion. He watched from above as they tore into the granaries he had kept locked during the Lane years. He watched as the families of the disappeared broke down the doors of the Black Wing, pulling their gaunt, blinking kin into the light of the torches. He expected a riot, a fire, perhaps a spear aimed at his own throat, but what he saw was worse. The people ignored him. They looted the wealth he had hoarded, they embraced the loved ones he had stolen, and they stepped over the royal seal as if it were common trash. Valerius remained on the wall, a ghost in a purple robe, realizing that the moment he gave up his malice, he ceased to exist to them at all. He had spent his life ensuring he was the center of their universe, but in giving back their freedom, he had finally made himself irrelevant. He walked back into the empty throne room, the candles guttering in the draught from the open gates. He sat in the dark, listening to the distant sounds of a city beginning to breathe again, knowing that by morning they wouldn't even remember to come for his head. They would simply leave him there, a forgotten king in a house that was no longer home, ruling over nothing but the dust.